It's been months since I've vlogged anything. Babe, I'm vlogging. Really sure also doesn't know. I'm finally doing something house related and I thought I would share it. And as you can see, this guy is still a hideous blue and these tiles are still here. But I have gotten everything I need to sand and paint this shelf. If you're new here and you haven't seen our moving vlogs and you don't know about this hideous blue shelf and the hideous tiles, which you can obviously see now, then go and check out our moving vlogs. I am going to sand and paint this guy today. I also got some peel and stick subway tiles for the backsplash. So the backsplash goes all the way around, so it's up there along the side and then here where you guys are as well. So there's quite a bit of area to cover. And then I also bought something that is like a peel and stick countertop. I'm not 100% certain on if I love the pattern or not. I kind of was just trying to go for something that was subtle and also looked normal and natural. I thought maybe the marble would look a little bit too fake, but my sister got the marble and hers looks so nice. I also want to change the handles in here, but I'm not sure if that's going to be like too much of like an expensive and tedious task to do. Then have to replace them when we move out. I'm also going to change this horrendous light fixture. It's like the most basic slapdash thing that they could have put in. I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to get going. And I want to get to painting. Everything is covered in dust from the sanding yesterday. Like my camera's covered in dust, my tripod, the kitchen, everything. Oh, I love coffee. My hands look atrocious, so just don't look at them. If they come into frame, just like, of course my battery died because I am out of practice and they die mid-sentence. Where was I? I was talking about my ratchet nails. Just don't look at them. It's easier if you don't look at them because then you won't be offended, and I also won't be getting secondhand embarrassment a week after filming this. You can't see the shelf at this angle, but I did quite a bit yesterday actually. I finished all the sanding. I did like 1.5 coats, so I did like an extra like baby coat on the top shelf, but not on the bottom, so the top shelf looks a little bit more, I don't know if you can see my bald patch when I turn, probably. The top shelf looks a little bit more white because I didn't sand off the hideous blue color completely. I just like sanded it so it was rough so I could paint over the top. I spent majority of yesterday from after I spoke to you guys sanding, which took forever. And then yesterday evening I worked on the countertops and like the tiles. It's an odd way of having countertop. I think they were just going cheap, so they just kind of did something that was easier rather than actually getting like a slab of like granite or something. So they used tiles and there's like grout lines in between and it's horrendous. I'm gonna stick the countertop spray on the countertop sticker today so that I can kind of get a feel and see if I like it or not, and then I'll know if I can do the rest of the counters, which is going to be, it's going to be a hectic job because I'm going to have to like stick around the basin and stick around the stove and let's get to painting. I look absolutely insane. Actually, is this clean? Let me use this. Hold on. Is that better? Okay, kitchen is an absolute mess everywhere behind me, but I finished doing the shelf and it looks great. I haven't done any tiles, so just envision it for now. I'm going to show you the progress that I've made so far. That blue was like blue, it was hanging on. So this is what the shelf is looking like. Very white. Unfortunately, the wall behind it isn't as white as I would like it to be, so I've actually gotten some paint so that I can get the walls as white as the ceiling. You can see ceiling and the shelf, and then the walls are like an off-white creamy color, which I just hate. Like, be white or nothing else. And today I'm doing the countertop, but this is what the peel and stick countertop looks like. I didn't get it absolutely perfect, but it's good. It's good enough. It's quite neutral, and it looks very similar to our counters that we had in our last apartment. And I'm about to do it on this side, and I think it's going to look great. The reason I'm actually doing the countertops is because I feel like with the white peel and stick backsplash, this is going to look really beige and kind of yellowy. So that's why I'm changing the countertops as well. Let's do it.
Sit still for a minute. I'm so dead set on indifference. Keep it Charlie, stay down with them Dickens. Let's get around like it's the 80s. Right round, let's keep spinning. Let's keep playing these games that we don't want to finish. And I'm sorry if that sounds a bit bitter, but I am to the core. You want the whole damn thing, then you asking for more. You want that old jive swing, you take up all of the floor. I'm fine with standing at the edge of the door. You be the life of the party, I blend in with the core. You drink it all to Bacardi till the bottle's no more. Let's take it back before this started. You want the love, I don't got it. Got my soul on the road. You screaming stay, baby please don't go. Don't think it's in me to listen to foe. It's so.
My battery died, but I'm still here watching my series, and I thought I would just show you kind of the process of how it's going. It's long and slow and tedious, but I feel like the end result is going to be worth it. This is where we're at so far. I haven't done it like perfectly at the top there. You can see I cut so it was a little bit longer just to kind of see if it was worth it, but I feel like you can't really see it. I might at the end with like spare tiles kind of fill in those spots, but for now when you're standing here, unless you're a kid or you're super short, I don't think you'll be able to see that there are some like missing bits under there. But otherwise I think it looks great, and once like all of this is covered, I'm starting on this side now. So the way this works, you can't see it, but it says overlap here, so that fits perfectly into the overlap here area like that. Takes a little bit of like puzzling it together, and then it kind of turns out like that. And this is me for the rest of the night. I will show you a little bit more as I go, but the process in itself is quite slow and tedious, but I like it. feel fresh. I haven't washed my hair this entire time because I get sweaty and possibly get paint in my hair with the shelf, so I just haven't done it. But now I feel fresh and actually ready to tackle a bit more of this kitchen. I'm going to show you the process or the progress. I didn't film all of it because in the end I mostly land up like being in my underwear. And I'm a little bit worried, very little bit worried that I might not have enough of the Backsplash tiles, stickers. Like there was one whole tile that I just pulled off the wall because it just wasn't working. I ripped it a little bit. I've reused that because it's like under the shelf, so I feel like you can't really see it if you're not looking very closely. So there's a little bit of like patch up jobs that I need to do, but all in all, I'm really happy with what I'm seeing so far. So bear with the fact that we have coffee machine and kettle here. I'll actually move this out of the way so that you can get a better idea. I was just kind of seeing if it would work in that corner. As you can tell in this corner, there's like a gap here because it just doesn't line up well. I feel like this is an old apartment, so nothing is just perfectly straight. I'm just basically showing you like my flawed areas at this point so that you can get a clear idea of what the process looks like. So this I couldn't line up, or I didn't line up perfectly. I think I was getting annoyed. This again was actually quite hard to do. Like it took me a while to cut this all because it's quite thick, these bits. Like they're almost like a gel-ish feeling, so like bending them and cutting around is a little bit of a pain, but in the end this is far better than what was here before. And obviously because we had these hideous like jagged tiles behind it, I have to definitely press down in some areas where it's raised. There's another little spot where it doesn't line up perfectly. Here, I don't know if you can see, I've stuck like a single little strip of white down the center there because it really wasn't lining up. So I'm thinking of doing that in some areas, like over there and over there. It's just me being like a perfectionist about it. Once all of this is covered, it's going to be great. Also, it'll be good to not have all of this. Don't look at the craziness over there. I finished this as well. And it's looking pretty good. Again, I want to put in some kind of, it's not polyfiller, what is it? Like silicone? Sean was worried that it might not stick to like the two different plastics, but we'll test it out and see.
here editing this clip and I just realized that this makes no sense. The whole vlog has been about the kitchen and peel and stick tiles and countertops, and here I am with my breakfast. So this is us at a couple different breakfasts. I turned 29, I had a whole birthday, and I didn't share any of it because I kind of just didn't want to. I wanted to live it. So this is us having breakfast at the ladder, and all the home content will resume now.
So it is quite a few days later actually. I have had a birthday, had lots of celebrations, and the kitchen has been somewhat done for a little while, like maybe a week, maybe a little less than a week. Let me just close this window so my neighbors can't hear me, because I find it awkward if people can hear me vlogging and then I feel like I need to speak quietly, but then that doesn't really work well for a vlog. So let me close the window. Okay, much better. I feel like there's a little bit of extra privacy. We have a lot of plants around us because Sean went on like a propagation binge. We literally last week Saturday spent our evening watching propagation videos on YouTube. This is what 29 looks like, friends. And I'm feeling a lot more like myself, which is fantastic. I've had quite a little while of, not quite a little while, just quite a while of not feeling very much like myself, not wanting to vlog, not wanting to do content. But today I'm feeling it, so I'm doing it. And I wanted to give you guys an update of what the kitchen is looking like. And while I do that, I want to show you some of the, not snags, we'll get into it. I also need to do the caulking. I don't know what the South African word of that is. Like, is it just silicone for around the sink? I also want to do it around the edges over here so that it looks more put together and real. And you can also see that I put the counter sticker a little bit up the wall, which I want to get rid of because I want this to feel like it was just always like this. When people walk in, they just think this is just the way it is, even though it wasn't like that. I think I have a hair in my top or something. I have lots of flowers in the kitchen because these are from my mom for my birthday, and I also like to buy myself pretty flowers, and I wanted to see what the kitchen looked like with like beautiful fresh flowers. The dishwasher's on, as I said, so everything isn't kind of packed out and the shelf isn't exactly the way I want it to be. But I have decided that I would rather take you guys on the journey of like figuring out this apartment. This morning I actually put together a list of things I want to do around the apartment, and I think it's going to be cool. I've literally detailed, let me actually just get my phone, hold on. I have detailed what I kind of want to do for each room, and I thought it would be fun to rather take you guys along on the journey rather than just be like, this is what it looked like before and now look, it's amazing. Well, my version of amazing. I would rather that you guys see step by step how I do it, how much it all costs, and I've decided to let you in on it, even though things are messy and overwhelming. It doesn't look great throughout the video, and even at the end of this video I think it's not going to be finished, it's not going to be complete, it's not going to look the way I want it to. But over the next maybe month, depending on when some extra things come in, I will just show you in vlogs as I go along, because I think it's better to put out like a weekly vlog than not vlog for 6 months and then be like, oh, and look what I've done with all of this time. I've rambled for literally 5 minutes. So let's start on this side because this is where it all began. This is what the countertop like peel and stick is looking like. I need to still paint here. So these are bits that I would usually try and not show because it's just like unsightly, but I'm going to show you so that we can kind of do it together and you can see what the finished product looks like. Like that is also horrendous, and also that is the state of our lounge at the moment because I bought 8 chairs that I plan to kind of find a way to redo them. But just knowing myself, I have realized there I did it again. I don't like the color of this door, so I just shifted you. This is just what I've learned to do with vlogging, is like block out the things that I don't like. The reality is I don't really have that much time to do stuff like this, and I don't have the contacts and the right people to be able to get it done affordably so that I can actually make a good amount of money on it. Not yet. I'd like to at some point be that person that can upcycle furniture and sell it. That's my dream. I think it would just be so cool. So I have these chairs and they have been here for ages. The chairs in the back though, I love them. I just need to get a table and get rid of all the other stuff. This, without showing you my underwear, is a box of things that I need to donate or give away. And then over here, we have done a little Christmas bed. This is from my birthday evening. We love doing a Christmas bed. We usually do it around Christmas, which is why it's called a Christmas bed.
But we've left it in the lounge, and I think because it's Christmas bed I haven't made it. I've just sort of like left it here. So our lounge and would-be dining area is in shambles. Guys, I'm really showing you the real life here. Back to the actual updates. I can see with my eye that the seam is over here, and if I get you guys close enough you can see as well. But when you're just looking at the counter like this, you can't tell that the seam over here. And around the corners I think I did pretty well. Back here, this is actually a space for a dryer, tumble dryer, but we're in South Africa, we don't do that. We just, well, most people don't do it. We just hang our things up like this or outside an apartment block. What I actually want to do here is get a kind of like cupboard of sorts, because I want to put my DIY things and then also all our cleaning stuff, because our cleaning stuff is currently in here. This pull-out cupboard, which I would prefer to use as our recycling sort of bin area, because I'm currently trying to fit it into, this is where our bin goes, I'm trying to pull it into this pool cupboard, but it just doesn't work. We have tons of recycling. I'm trying to decide if I should just get like a flat pack version. I looked at Builder's Warehouse for something. I want it to look quite normal and in place with drawers, I was thinking, or even just a cupboard that pulls open and then has 2 or 3 shelves. I'm really going on a tangent today. I'm very chatty. I got around to doing this really well. I feel like that looks incredible, even on the inside over here and then around the sides. I think it looks great. I currently have an extension lead going along here because this back here, which I'm hiding with my beautiful plants that are dying slowly or rather fast, we only have a plug over here, so I've run an extension lead along the back so that we can have our, let me just hide the wires, just a life of hiding things that I don't want to be seen, just so we can have our kettle and coffee machine in this corner. I just think it makes a lot more sense for the space to have that over there. It means we have this counter space to prep food and do anything related to cooking, and then this side as well. I will always have something covering that outlet or that plug point, just because I feel like it's just ugly and unsightly. And what I was also thinking of doing is getting more of the peel and stick backsplash, this stuff over here, and putting it along this side as well, just so that it feels like it's all complete and cohesive. So it will go along here, and then obviously around that side, it's on that wall as well. And overall, when you're looking at this, I think it looks fantastic. Like, it looks completely different to what it looked like before with that hideous blue. Along spots like this, you can see that there's a little gap there because I was trying to fill it in. Over here you can see it, I was trying to fill it in with little pieces. Like, I was literally standing here for a while cutting little pieces of these tiles, like this what would be grouting. I was cutting those bits and trying to fit them in there. So I was lifting the tile and then trying to stick them together so you couldn't see it. So when I do that, it's perfectly fine. And when you step back, you really can't tell if there's any issue. There's like weird spots because of that uneven tile at the bottom. It's jutting out over here and then going straight, so it doesn't stick perfectly. But it is far better than what it was before. I think in the next vlog we will talk about, well, I'll show you guys the caulking around the sides, because I'm going to actually do that today. And I also bought some furniture for my office, which I'll show you guys in the next video, which I'm going to start filming now because, as you can tell, I'm clearly in the mood to talk. This is looking great. I'm happy with it for now, and next vlog I will do the caulking, and hopefully by the beginning of November I will get the door handles, because last time I ordered on Amazon, as I told you guys, I don't actually know if I told you, but last time I ordered on Amazon I got my door handles, or I got my stuff in a week. So I'm hoping that'll happen this time. Okay, that's it for me. I think I've spoken enough in this video. And if you are still watching, then well done to you. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It really does mean the world to me, because this is where I, well, besides the vlog, this is where I started. And I love YouTube so much. And I like sink my teeth into other people's videos. But it just takes me so long to get mine out and to feel like they're worthy of being seen by other people, you know? Lots of thinking going on here. I'm gonna go now. You don't need to see this introspection in like a home video, but I'm very happy
to be back at creating content and just showing you guys what real life looks like. It's messy. It's a Christmas bed in the lounge. It's like freaking, what are those? How many chairs are those? 14 chairs in where our dining room would be. It's a hole in our kitchen over here. A lot of figuring it out, but we will get there together. I'm actually gonna go now. Okay, bye.